What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, as promised, here is another Diablo 3 video on farming strategies and the strategies that I use to get the ultimate godly endgame gear. Okay, so let's get into it. First, I'm going to talk about the 3 strategies that me and I'm sure everybody else in Diablo uses, in case you didn't know. And after I tell you how to farm the gear you're looking for, I'm going to show you how to most effectively get a perfect godly set of that set that you have. Okay, now to start off, I'm gonna use the reference of a set that I'm trying to get currently, and that's the Fan of Knives set for the Demon Hunter. It's gonna be a fucking awesome set to use, so I'm excited. Now to start, there's obviously the main methods of farming is picking, high champion areas in or just doing bounties and doing your normal rifts. Okay, and if you're gonna do that, it is the least effective of the 3 methods, I believe, because you don't get to specifically pick the item that's dropped. You can get a ring when you're wanting a pair of gloves or vice versa. And if you're going to do that method, that's fine and dandy. If you're going to do it, pick a torment level that I'm at 10, that you can do a normal rift or bounties at a fairly good speed. So for example, let me jump into a quick normal rift here just to kind of give you an example of what's a good effective farming speed. I say at the most 5, try to keep it around a between 5 and 10 minute rift, normal rift, and that's with what am I trying to say here? 10 minutes being the high end. Now here's a set of champions. Let me just show you how fast you should be killing them. Probably like that, 4, 5, 6 hits. Just so you can keep moving, watch the progress bar there, 7%. This is kind of gonna give you your best odds of getting what you actually need, right? Because the odds are already not in your favor when you're just running normal rifts like this. So if you want to make this effective, try doing it where you're killing enemies at about the same pace I am. If you're not, lower your torment difficulty, based on your gear and just the speed you're doing them at, okay? So that's kind of an idea of that. Moving on to the second strategy, it's more effective, I find, than just simply running through rifts and stuff, is Kadala. I still think she's a bitch because she still doesn't give you what you need. Now, you get to select what you're looking for. So in the current set that I'm going for, the gloves I need are Saint Archu's Gauge. Okay, now let's say, for example, I didn't have those and I'm going for those gloves. I go over here to Kadala and I say, hey, give me a set of gloves. Now, I don't have enough blood shards, but when you do this, she most often gives you a yellow or a blue, and it's why she's a bitch, and I think she should go die. But it does give you the ability to select a specific piece that you need, so it kind of refines the farming process a little bit. Still is difficult because you do have to get blood shards from bounties and just running rifts as it is, so you're going to be able to combine these farming strategies anyways. But the one you should be aiming for, the one you should be focused on, is the third and final farming strategy, which is the cube. Okay, so let's say, for example, I am going for these St. Archu's gloves. What I'm going to do is either spend my blood shards at Kadala, she's going to give me a bunch of yellow, rare, level 70 gloves, or if I don't have blood shards, I can come over here and I can buy a set from the blacksmith, level 70 rare gloves. Once I've done that, I come over here to the cube, okay? And this is presumably that you've gotten the cube. If you don't have the cube, throw it in the comments below. I might make another video if you guys want to see another video on where you go about getting the cube. It is a new update. Well, kind of not new, but fairly recent. Now, what you want to do is, after you've gotten your rare set of gloves or whatever piece you're looking for, you come over here to the cube and you put it in. Now, the only difficult part about this process, the reason why it takes a little bit longer, is because you have to have Death's Breaths. That's this little jar here in the top corner. The most effective way to get those is rifts and bounties. It's just killing champions. I know at Torment 10 you get 2 per champion set, sometimes 1. I'm not sure if that's all Torment levels. If it is, then just follow this strategy. But once you have 25, the other materials you're not going to be so worried about because you get those literally everywhere. They drop all the time. You're probably going to have thousands of them. I have, I think, over 1,000 on all of these just from playing. I don't even remember picking them up. So it's the Death's Breath that make this an issue. But so you put it in and you transmute it, and there you go. I got Fiendish Grips. Now let's say I was going for the Essence let's say I was going for the Unhallowed Essence set, bang, that's why it's more accurate. Because one, you're not going to get yellows, you're not going to get blues. You are going to be having your odds strictly from the legendaries and set items of gloves. So it really brings the odds of getting the one that you want into a realm that is better than Kadala and better than just running around aimlessly looking for a random drop. Okay, so that's the one you want to focus on. You want to focus on your farming efforts on this strategy right here in the cube if you're looking for a specific piece. Okay, and the good part about it is as you're running for Death's Breaths, which is like, let's say, okay, I go over here, I need more Death's Breaths, I open up a normal rift, and like I said, picking a rift where you can do it in about five minutes and you're killing champions at the same pace that I was, you're probably going to get an average about 25, you know, depending on how many champions show up. If you do the whole rift, you can get 25 Death's Breaths in just one run of a, like here's a champion, for example, and let's kill him. And what does he drop? Oh, look at that, 2 Death's Breaths. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's 100% of the time in anything but Torment 10, but I'm pretty sure. There's also a method of using a specific set that can be crafted, I'm pretty sure, by the blacksmith. I will throw it in the description of what that set is called. That will give you more Death's Breaths per drop, per champion drop, if you're wanting to, you know, kind of exploit that farming method. I will throw the name of that set in the description, but just as an example, here's the kind of the pace, like I said, that you should be doing them at. There's some more Death's Breaths, and that's the kind of, and while you're doing this, you're actually still able to utilize the first farming strategy, right? You might get a drop while you're looking for Death's Breaths. And then you come back over, and let's say I still need Saint Archus, right? Here's another pair of level 70s. Okay, I don't have enough Death's Breaths, but that's kind of the example that I was going to give you. And it really shows how the odds are increased with only having the cube select from the specific legendaries and set items of the specific piece of gear that you need, right? So that's why this is the best farming strategy. I hope you guys have learned a little bit more about the different methods of getting the gear, but I'm also going to tell you now how, once you've gotten your complete set, how do you go about making that set absolutely godly? Now, this starts off by requiring you to get, through the farming methods I've just described, 2 pieces, it doesn't matter what the stats are on them, 2 pieces of each piece of gear. That's why I have these 2 St. Archus gauge. That's why I also have, for example, 2 Leoric's crowns, and so on, of every piece that I need. Okay? Once you have that, you're obviously going to be using the best one of the 2 of each piece. So, you know, if this was my best set currently, if I had all the pieces of the set and the set I'm going for is my best killing set, it's not for me currently because I'm using my Unhallowed Essence set to farm this new set. But for example, let's say you only had this set. You put on the best piece of the 2, okay? You put on the best piece of the 2, which in this case would be this ancient one, okay? And then you do that for all the pieces that you have, and then you take the other piece that you're not using and you continue to roll it in the cube, not at upgrade a rare item, but reforge a legendary. And now this is by far more expensive because you have to get these crafting materials here that are only found by doing a complete bounty set in an act. Each one is found in a different act. And once you have all of them, you usually get about 5 per bounty set. You can reforge a legendary once. Now, I would take my St. Archus gloves that I'm not using, reforge them, and hope that it gets there's a 10% chance it can be ancient, and hope that if I roll an ancient, that it's better than the ancient that I'm using. If it is, I swap it, and then I continue to roll the one that I've swapped out until it's both ancient and the stats are better. And I keep doing that over and over until I have the best possible gloves I can get. And then once I have the best possible gloves I can get, I can do whatever with the other piece, sell it or whatever, and then move on to the helmet or move on to the next piece and do the same thing. wear the one that's best at the time, roll the other one until it's ancient and better than the one I'm using, switch it, and keep doing that over and over until I have the best helmet. Follow that strategy. It does take time, but it prevents you from having to roll the piece you're wearing. And let's say I roll it and I have an ancient, and then I re-roll it after and it's not ancient because it's only a 10% chance of being ancient. I've now lost, I've downgraded. That's why having 2 of each piece and rolling the one you aren't using until it's better is the best method of getting godly gear. Okay, and that's after you've done the first 3 strategies and farmed these pieces that you need. You've farmed your whole set basically twice, and now you're using the cube to reforge the legendaries that you're not using until they're better, and they can replace the ones you're using, and then do that again for the ones you've replaced, and keep doing that until you have the most godly gear that you can possibly think of. That's the best strategy of farming, I believe, and achieving end game absolutely destructive gear. I hope you guys have learned a few things. If you didn't know this already, throw a like on the video. It'll keep me going, and let me know if you want to see how to get the cube or anything else you want to see with Diablo 3. Throw it in the comments below. But I will post a video next on the Fan of Knives set that I achieved through this method or these methods, and I'll give you a little taste of this next speed farming build that I'm doing with the Demon Hunter. So as always, guys, stay on the bean. You do you. Live life your way, because that's the way life is meant to be. And until next time, cheers, you beauties. Now, I don't know. We're going to start off with the M8 because the M8's fucking dope. So, quick draw, necessary. Rapid fire, necessary. Fast mags, necessary.